What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of NAS100 analysis today. And we're going to pick up from where we left off last week in regards to moves we were expecting, the kind of moves we got, and how I basically navigated the whole situation. Okay, so hopefully you guys last week were able to pick up a decent amount of pips and points for yourself. I know I did, so I hope you guys did the same thing too. Managed to grab a little something for yourself, okay? And also as well, if you're new to this channel, I believe you're going to find the content I'm going to share with you today very useful. So make sure you hit the subscribe button on your way in, turn on the notification and drop us a like, okay? And as well, there's going to be some information inside of the description box, which is just below this video, so just go check it out. In case obviously the requirements that are in there, you meet it and you like it for yourself, then ultimately follow through, use my promo code and get yourself all hooked up, right? So with all of that covered, we're going to get straight into it, straight into it, right? So last week, right, we had a number of news coming, right? Actually, no, I'm not even going to talk about the news last week because it was just super annoying, right? We had a signal for a sell in regards to the news that came out, and the market went bullish, which made no sense, but that's what happened anyways. But I'm not going to go too much into that because from my point of view, how I'm looking at the news now, I'm just moving forward. I think I'm just going to ignore the whole thing. So which is I trade before the news, get out once the news breaks, then naturally I'll then get back into the market and ride it that way, because what the news is doing is making no sense whatsoever and it's really starting to annoy me. But however, that's not why you're here. You're here to find out about my analysis, what I plan to do, how I plan to do it, and you're going to most likely factor that into your overall trades. And with that said, also it's super important that I do say this: I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm expecting you to do your homework, learn how to do these things for yourself, so at least worst case scenario you can check my work to make sure that everything I'm telling you makes sense before you do anything. If you're just going to blindly follow, then naturally that comes with its own little drawbacks, i.e. you losing money, okay, or at worst you blowing your entire account, okay? Because like I say, I'm not an expert, I do make mistakes, and that is part of the learning journey. So with all of that covered, we're going to get straight into what is going on with the market as we speak. So as it stands, we've got a couple drawing over here. It still holds. So we've had price come below this area over here. So this was this location, right? So I believe that had the signal to sell down, okay? Then now price has shot all the way back up into this area over here, which is above this level, okay? So price is currently in this zone right now, okay? So I know this wants to come down, but however, I'm not sure when it's going to come down or if it's going to push up for a little bit more. But either way, we're going to analyze all of that today. So these two price points, we're going to keep that there as it is. We're not going to change them. We're just going to keep it there. But we are going to do a slight bit of tidying up in regards to this chart because it is a little bit, it's getting a bit cluttered. So we're just going to get rid of a few things. And so first, I'm going to expand this range. Okay, so we're just going to expand this range a little bit. And then we're going to expand this range a little bit, okay? And we can see price has gone above this range. We can see that price has done that, right? So I'm not going to pull the woolies over your eyes on that. So we can see price has done that. So next thing I want to do is I'm going to turn off all the drawings, right? And then we're going to go into a day. And hopefully the day is going to be able to help us in terms of how we're going to move. So as we can see right now in regards to where prices or what market is currently doing, okay, we can see literally this is more or less around the top, okay? Price could come back up to around this level right here. So let me get my my finger jig. So price could come to this zone right here, okay? It could, and that is this area that we're looking at over here. So this area, right, price could make its way up here. There's nothing stopping it from price making its way all the way up here, okay? So the question is, when it gets up here, what is it going to do? And in my previous video, a few videos back, I talked about this zone of price making its way up there. I talked about it, okay? But at the same time, watching how market is moving, it is super important that we remain dynamic in this whole situation. So we remain dynamic so we can get the most out of it as price continues to do what it does. So will price come up to this zone or this zone? That's something that we're waiting for to see if that is going to happen. As it stands, I don't know. I couldn't tell you if it is or if it's not going to do that. But what I do know that it is building up a fair bit in this area, okay? And this has been going on for a little while now. So this build up started from the 31st of March, okay? So, and this is dragged all the way through to April, and we're now in May, and it's still in this zone right now, okay? Eventually it is going to break down, and there are two levels that I'm looking at to see if it's going to go there or not, okay? So the first level is this area right here. So that would be, so if it breaks from where it is right here, okay, and it comes down, I'm talking to around this level over here, which is this structure, or not this structure, this trend line. So I'm thinking it's going to come to this trend line, which will be, so let's just drop it right here. So we'll be looking at what, 12,426.48, right? That is if it makes its way from where it is right now, okay, and comes down to this zone right here. At the same time that I'm saying that, okay, looking at the build up in this area, there is nothing stopping it for it coming up to this level over here. So this resistance level, which was set on the 16th of August 2022. So last year, that was when this this high point was set, or this resistance zone was set, okay, and price could be making its way there. It could test it and then begin to pull back down again. As a matter of fact, let me drop a price point on that zone. Okay, so that price point we're talking at, the price point of resistance, it is 13,742.25. okay, so that is the level that price may go to, okay, according to what I'm seeing right now. I am still hopeful it's going to break down, it's going to give us all of this, possibly drop all the way down to say 9,753.43. This is the number that I'm quoting right now, okay, or it just might even come down to this zone right here, which would be 10,778.02. This is this zone over here, okay. And finally, we have this zone, and then we have a situation where it might produce a high slightly higher than this one over here, and that would be this zone right here, which is 13,895.98. So these are the things that we're kind of looking at right now. These are the things we're looking at right now in regards to where market could go. And like I say, this is going to be a long-term position that we're looking at right now, where I don't think we're going to be getting answers to the questions that I've just discussed, or the statements I've just made, right, in the next couple of days. I think it's going to be a couple weeks in the making before we get to either here or before we get to either here. And worst case scenario, it could even be even more months before we even get there. Okay, so now we're going to go into the hour, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to navigate this whole situation from when market opens, which is going to be in the next couple of hours. And another thing as well, there is a bank holiday in the UK for tomorrow, so UK will not be participating in the markets tomorrow. It's only going to be Asia and New York. They're the only ones that are going to be participating. Obviously everywhere else is going to be participating, but London is going to be out of the market tomorrow. All right, so it could either be really slow, okay, or it could be really slow, right? One of the two, right? So with where price is right now, looking at this on the hourly, what I would be looking for. So what will I be looking for? So I know this area is a range, so this whole area right here is a range, right? And we have a lower high right here, okay, and we have I'm just trying to see. Okay. Just bear with me a moment. Just spotted something. Okay, so I would say this. Okay, I would say this, right? And obviously treat what I'm saying with caution. It's super important that you treat it with caution. Okay, right? So I would say this. A close above this zone over here will give us some kind of indication that price may want to go all the way up here, okay, to this zone right here, which is what I called out. You can pause this, go back and get the number that I said for this zone over here, okay, right? Actually, I've got it right here. Actually, I didn't even notice that. 13,894.70, round about that zone, right? So price could make his way to this level, or it could actually stop off around here, which will be 13,740.83, right? So this is what I would expect price to do should price close above this level over here, okay, right? And should price close below this level over here, okay, I would expect price to make his way down here. I would expect it to make his way down here, right? And this is all, you all got to be cautious if you're going to be going off what I'm saying right now, because like I say, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm only interpreting what I would most likely do in certain situations. And a close down here, I would want to ride it all the way down. I put a decent stop on, okay? I wouldn't cover this whole zone because it's way too large to cover, right? But however, I will try to find a decent place to kind of tap in, just to make sure that it's as smart as I can possibly get it, right? You can't get everything perfect, but I will try to get it as perfect as possible in regards to riding it to the downside. Now, another thing as well, just to add in terms of what I've seen, what the market is doing and how it's doing it. This whole thing, I'll be honest with you, is super confusing, right? It's not easy to read at all. A lot of the times I pretty much think I'm guessing, because these two areas, okay, have been triggered. This area was triggered, right? And then, according to how price was looking, I thought this might actually be a fake out and it was going to blast to the top side, and it did, right? And then it started consolidating. Then it's blasted down, but it didn't reach this level, which is where I would have wanted it to go, right? Which is where I wanted it to go. And then that would have more or less confirmed to me that it wanted to continue its push to the upside. But what it's done is it's given us a higher low, which means this push to the upside has a higher probability of that happening, okay? But at the same time, market does what market wants to do. So I couldn't tell you if that is what is going to happen or not. All I can say is we've got to be super vigilant in terms of how we play the game. And tomorrow being a bank holiday basically means that this will be moving super slow. Either it's going to start ranging up here somewhere, okay? Or we're just going to be like staggering on his way up to the upside for the whole day until it decides to break down. So one or two things: it stagger to the upside, it continues to range, or it staggers downwards. But I'm not expecting high volatile move, especially from the hours of say 7 a.m. in the morning, right, GMT, this is where I am, UK, right, to about 1:30 in the afternoon. Any type of volatile moves I'll be expecting the market to do, I'll be expecting that to take place from after 1:30 in the afternoon. I would not be expecting it any time before then. And obviously we know Tokyo is super slow, so they never really participate in the market according to what I see when I bring up the sessions. So let me just do that right now and I'll just show you exactly what I mean. Right, what I mean by Tokyo is just not, they just don't participate. I mean, they do participate, but it doesn't feel like they are. Let me just, yeah, turn on Tokyo. Okay. And let me just zoom in. And you see what I mean? It's like nothing's going on when they're in the market. Like, okay, this is Tokyo right here. Nothing going on. This is Tokyo right here. A little something, but let's face it, nothing going on. And this is Tokyo over here. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. So it's like, I don't even know if they trade US markets over there, but it just looks super flat whenever they're in the markets. The only time it starts to bounce around is when London is in, and of course when New York is in, right? So let me just make sure I've covered everything that I needed to cover before I let you guys go. Okay, so So according to how I'm going to be playing the game tomorrow, right? Because I am going to be playing the game tomorrow. How I'm going to be playing it, I'm just going to be watching and waiting and looking for opportunities to arrive, and I could take the opportunities from anywhere it shows up in the market, right? Anywhere it shows up, that's where I'll be looking to take the opportunities from. But as it stands, I don't have the super clear plan. I have a plan, but the plan is not solid because, like I say, market has been playing around and it's not been given concise information. And just to recap, this area over here should have, well, in my opinion, right, it should have gone up a little bit and then it should have broken down some more, and then I would have taken that. But that didn't happen. It shot all the way up, gone over this zone right here, okay. And then what did it do? And then it then decided to break back down and then return back into that zone again. So it may break down, but as it stands, I would be a liar if I told you that I believe this was going to break down. As it stands, the best assessment I can say is I don't know what it's going to do. I don't know when it's going to do it. Tomorrow's a bank holiday, so I'm not really expecting much. I'm just going to go off what the market is saying, and then we just see how everything pans out. All right. So with all of that covered, my awesome people from all around the world, I want to thank you again for coming over to watch another episode of NAS100 Analysis today. If you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And definitely hit the like button. The like button costs you absolutely nothing, but the super thanks will though. So you want to support me, make sure you hit the super thanks, drop a little something over, say thank you, right? I don't think you will, but I hope you do. I hope you do, right? And turn on the notifications so whenever I drop a video, you'll be amongst the first to see it. All right. So with all of that covered, guys. Oh, and don't forget to check out the description as well. Okay, so if you need a broker, make sure you check that out. There's a promo code in there as well. Make sure you use that so you get looked after. Okay, so with all of that covered, my awesome people, once again, thank you very much for turning up, hanging out with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, which will be very, very soon. So for now, this is Pips and Points signing out.